We're talking about a movie where one of the professors is a goat. Can we live? I mean, is it that serious? Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heather Shaw is Kidding. It's me, Heather Shaw. Happy Wednesday. Sorry I was not around last week. I have been traveling like a goddamn bitch. Been traveling around. It's really hard. Once I'm home, I don't have enough time. You don't need to hear my excuses. Hey, if you're missing a main episode and you're missing anything, I wish that she had released one, get on the goddamn Patreon. What are you doing? It's $3 a month, okay? How broke can you be? I'm not trying to shame you here, but if you're really hard up for it, get on Patreon. There are a ton of bonus episodes, and I'm able to release episodes because they're audio only. So even when I'm traveling, I'm able to travel around with my mic and record some episodes. The last episode that's up is with my friend Tom Feeney. We were traveling around Ohio and Indiana and Chicago and talking mad shit about the shows we were doing. So join the Patreon if you're missing episodes when I'm not able to release one. Patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy. It's a good time only over there. And for only $3 a month, come on, I'm not trying to shame you, but come on. What else? Upcoming shows. Tonight, I am in Omaha, Nebraska at the Funny Bone. Thursday, tomorrow night, I am in Richmond, Virginia at the Funny Bone. Friday, I'm in Mahomet, Illinois at Yellow & Co. It's going to be very fun. I'm going to find out what Mahomet, Illinois is. I don't think anybody knows, including the mayor of Mahomet. Is there a mayor, or is it just 3 raccoons in a trench coat? We'll see. I am very excited to get out to Mahomet, Illinois. I like Illinois as a whole. It's a great state. And what else? Next week, I am in Portland, Maine all weekend at the Empire Comedy Club. Post-Thanksgiving. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I just got to get the mouth farts out early to keep the real ones around. Is this going to be an unhinged podcast episode? You betcha. We're starting off hot. Hot breath, hot mic. Here we go. Can't lose. Portland, Maine, Empire Comedy Club next Friday and Saturday, post-Thanksgiving shows. If you're out in that area, come to those. It's going to be very fun. Next Sunday night, I'm in Providence, Rhode Island at the Comedy Connection. And then my last show of the year is December 4th in San Francisco, California at Cobb's Comedy Club. And then I'm getting married. So I'm off the road. I'm getting ready for that. I'm very excited. So come to these last few shows before we kick off new shows in the new year. All tickets at heathershawcomedy.com. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast if you like. I love it so much when you do. You guys are beautiful saints. Before we get into the emails, oh, those dirty emails. I don't do a good Trump because everyone else and their mother does. So I'll stick with my Britney. Okay, everybody's out here doing Trump. I'm just going to stick with Gypsy Rose and Britney having a podcast.
Whoa! Holy shit, Gypsy! Did you, kill your mother? That's very sweet, but no, I didn't!
Sorry, I for a minute there, I thought I was Miss Piggy. We'll get to Marjorie Taylor Greene as well. I got tagged into oblivion on mostly TikTok. Thank you if you tagged me in pictures and videos of Jim Carrey hitting the red carpet. It's so good to see Jim Carrey out and about. I love seeing him out and about. I wish he was doing more work. Admittedly, I love the guy. It'd be weird if I didn't. I have his face. Thank God nothing weird has come out. Please, dear God, have nothing weird come out about Jim Carrey. Please, dear God. Can you imagine having the face of Bill Cosby? It's a rough one. Okay? Even looking like Louis C.K. can't be great. Just overall, beyond the allegations. Please, dear God, keep Jim Carrey safe. Some people hop online and comment on my shit and say he was on the island. And I say, which island? You got to be specific. Maybe it was Long Island. I've been on Long Island. Am I guilty? Yeah, I just hope he stays safe. But I was tagged a bunch. He made a public appearance at some event. I honestly don't know what event. He was photographed with Taylor Momsen, who was in The Grinch. I'm not a big fan of The Grinch because I'm not 7. The Grinch is fine. It's not one of my... I honestly think I first saw The Grinch maybe 4 years ago when I started dating my fiance because she really likes that movie. She's not a big Jim Carrey fan, but she likes The Grinch. She's Gen Z, I think they do. But he was photographed with Taylor Momsen, which is really cute because she was the elf. I don't know what she was. The Who bitch. I don't know. She was a character in that movie as a kid, so it's cute that they reunited. But boy, he's got some face work, and it's jarring. I don't like it. The man with the rubber face, he more rubber than mine. You can't. I don't want him to get the face work. I thought he was removed from Hollywood. I thought he was above this shit. He is above this shit. He doesn't need to. He's a man, number one. Men don't have to touch their fucking faces. He's a retired actor, number two. So, my whole thing is like, if you're an actor, you really shouldn't be touching your face because you see what happens. Like Kim Kardashian in that new show that apparently is not good. It's like, what? Kim Kardashian's not a great actress. I know she acts on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but she acts as herself, so it's a little easier. But when you see Kim act and emote and try to be sad or mad or bitchy or whatever in that show, All's Fair, I think it's called, it's insane because her face does not move. So, maybe she could be a fantastic actress if she was able to show the emotion on her face, but that is not an option. I mean, it is frozen like Elsa, bitch. So, I'm always on the side of if you're an actor, do minimal work. Don't make it obvious. I know that he's retired now, but he is like the man with the fucking rubber face. There can't be only one of us with this goddamn face. I can't be the only one walking around with vintage Jim Carrey face. Please. I love Jim Carrey's movies. I don't want to see Jim Carrey go down the route of Mickey Rourke. I mean, it could be dangerously close when you get up in that age and you start tightening things, and when you smile, there's no wrinkles. Bring back the wrinkles, Jim. You don't even need to have face work. You're a man. Who is this for? Women have the weird standards, the weird fucking beauty standards. I get it. But if you're a man, you're allowed to age. No one is batting an eye when there's a wrinkled motherfucker on the screen. It's like, oh yeah, it's just a guy. You're allowed to have wrinkles. I do love Jim Carrey. He's given me a great childhood with movies, and, I'll always look up to him. I'm not like a huge stan. There's a lot of things I know about Jim Carrey that I've learned against my will. I don't need to know that he's a Capricorn. Hey, that was something I never needed to know. Found that out from my years of being on social media. I appreciate Jim Carrey for the work that he's done as a comedic actor and as a dramatic actor, as an actor as a whole, as a comedian, and obviously we do share the face. I've never had to like practice it. It's just always been there. And it just kind of makes me a little sad to see him getting a little tight and fillered up and Botox. Like, you don't need to do it, dude. You don't. No one wants that. We all like the Jim. I can't be the only one. You can't be like, oh yeah, the frail lesbian has the vintage JC look. I don't want that title. It is jarring though. And hopefully he tones it down. I did make a video. Part of me thinks like I shouldn't comment on this. I don't think I'll ever meet Jim Carrey. I've never reached out. I've never tried to. I'm not trying to bother the guy. I'm sure he's already like, God, this girl, But I try not to be like, if I really wanted to be annoying and capitalize off of this face, I could have. And I could really be cringy, and I could really be embarrassing and just go full into cosplay and only do videos where I'm dressed up as Jim Carrey and only do brand videos where I'm selling Clorox bleach as Jim, and be really fucking obnoxious with it. But I've always wanted to be a comedian, and I'm a stand-up comic, and I'm just trying to, I always wanted to make a name for my own. I appreciate that this has gotten me attention, that I look like Jim, and I really do appreciate Jim Carrey for the movies he's made, but I don't even know where I was going with this. I was debating whether to even comment on it, make a video on it, because I don't want it to just seem like I'm just always talking about Jim Carrey. I'm really not, though. I mean, if you go to my social media, I very rarely do videos anymore referencing Jim Carrey. I'm trying to let that man live. And, I've never reached out to him. I've never tried to set up anything. I've never heard from him. I kind of like it where we just never meet. We just so it's not as meta. But yeah, I was debating making that video because I just don't want to be like, he is an inspiration. I'm not trying to be rude, but he's got to tone down the Facebook. We just has to do it. If this makes him mad, he'll probably never see it. Who cares? But yeah, man, we love your face. And I say that as someone who has your face. Your face is so gorgeous and just one in a million. And anybody who has your face is, wow, just a god or a goddess. And I'm just kidding. But, I do have a soft spot for Jim Carrey. How can you not? Thank God I look like him and not like Jeffrey Epstein. God, can you imagine? There was a guy in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, who was in the audience, and I kept calling him Epstein because he had Epstein's face, and what a bummer of a face to have. So if I were to have any man's face, I'm glad it's Jim Carrey's. He's a comedic legend who has done more for the 90s than Bill Clinton ever will. And we love him. Hopefully he can reel in that plastic surgery. All right, let's get to these emails. Speaking of Epstein, I was trying to do, here's what I'm going to do. I wrote a chunk of jokes that I was trying on stage all last weekend in Dallas, Texas. And some of the jokes worked. They're very topical, very, flash in the pan jokes, meaning like in a fucking month I can't be saying these jokes because they're so topical and like it'll be old news. So I'm going to share the jokes with you now that I wrote because some of them worked on stage and others just kind of didn't work. And it's because it's really hard to make pedophilia funny. It's not that I'm trying to make pedophilia funny. I'm trying to talk about these topics. And like sometimes the audience, I did 4 shows in Dallas. Thanks for coming out if you did. Some of the jokes are good and some was just like, it's hard. It's hard. So I'm going to share with you what these jokes were because I'm probably never going to say them again on stage. Again, they're just so quick in the news. They're throwaway jokes. I think I started with, the emails. I was talking about Epstein. In one of the emails, Jeffrey Epstein referred to Donald Trump as like the most vile man he's ever met, which is just amazing. The most prolific pedophile that we know in America sees Trump and he's like, God, that guy is a creep. Ew, he gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's fun to think about that. Jeffrey Epstein calling someone else the most vile. That's like Casey Anthony calling someone else a bad mother. It's just like, what? The bar is in hell. I talked about how it was harder to be MAGA these days. It's getting harder and harder to be MAGA. It is. And it's always been hard to be MAGA because you read at a first grade level if you're MAGA. I don't even know how MAGA grocery shops. I think they just go by colors. They're not reading those labels. They don't know what's going on. They go in and they go, is this soup? And they're just holding Fruity Pebbles. I think they just got to shop by colors. It's hard to be MAGA. But now it's even harder because you take on the stance of Republican issues. So you take on you're pro-life, but now you have to defend a pedophile, which I guess makes sense that you'd want kids around if you're going to defend a pedophile. But, that's a hard thing to be like, children deserve to live. That's a hard stance to take when you're also supporting pedophilia. MAGA just has to be like, all children deserve to live long enough to see Trump's dick. It's a hard, that one didn't go well. A lot of the audience did not like that line. And then I had another line about how you can't be pro-life. If you're going to support a pedophile, you better also support abortion. Like you can't have your cake and fuck it too. And that was another line that the audience did not like. It's hard. I get it. It's a dark subject and sometimes it's too fresh. We've only had these emails for 10 years. Some of these emails are like from 2012. It's just so funny that people will hold on to things and just to play them at the right time, like it's a game. Like these aren't victims. And then another bit that did not work the entire weekend was how it's just crazy that Trump was doing all of these things. As, he doesn't drink, Trump. He notoriously does not drink alcohol. He doesn't do drugs, maybe Adderall during the day, especially now. But it's not like he's drinking and getting real fucked up on anything. It's crazy to think that he's doing all of these heinous acts as a sober. He's just stone cold sober. Like that's very funny to think about, like that he is just going into these situations completely sober, in his right mind, and doing these horrific things. Because it's not like a Diddy party where people get fucked up, and not to excuse what happened at Diddy's parties when it came to like little pop star boys. But you could kind of you could see, if somebody drank a lot, did a lot of Molly, they wake up in the morning like, what the fuck happened? Like, we did what? But Trump's just sober through the whole thing, going to bed sober, well rested, waking up in the morning being like, I remember everything that happened. Who wants to golf? That one didn't do well on stage. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't. You let me know. These are bits that I tried out. Some of them worked. The sober Trump thing, people didn't really understand or care. Or maybe it's just not funny. But, I figure I got to put these jokes somewhere. I can't put these online, like, on my social media. They will get taken down. I can't say you can't have your cake and fuck it too. Like, that's not going to work. Please. I know my limits. But this is a mouth fart heavy episode. Sorry. What are you going to sue me? I don't care. But you can understand I can't put these anywhere, so I'm just going to put them here for your ears. And if you hated it, great. You're like Dallas, Texas. God, I did not like Dallas, Texas. I realized this visit because I was driving in Dallas. I realized I think I'd like Dallas if I was Ubering everywhere, but I had to drive in Dallas, and I was kind of downtown and Deep Ellum area, and I don't fucking like Dallas, man. Don't fucking make me drive there ever again. Every fucking time I got on the highway, I was on the wrong exit. I took the wrong thing. I fucking hate it. I can drive almost anywhere. Not Dallas. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in a feud with Trump. Things are going on. There's a war between the MTG, who was like the MAGA mouthpiece for women, especially. She's she's MAGA Miss Piggy. She's MAGA Miss Piggy. Marjorie Taylor Greene is now on this run of like clearing her name, getting far away from MAGA. She was all up MAGA's asshole during the good years, during his first presidency, and then even after, during Biden's term. She was all up MAGA's butt. She was gargling MAGA's balls. She was taking MAGA's shaft into her mouth and sucking it down to the base. She was MAGA through and through. And you can if you're an intelligent person, which if you're listening to this, you probably are. She clearly is just trying to distance herself from MAGA because MAGA is a sinking ship at this point. The more information that comes out, the more that Trump really fucks up the economy and the shutdown, and tariffs were where it was. What he started with tariffs, and everything is just really bad in this country now. The ICE is insane. It's really just a sinking ship. It's bad when people like Andrew Schultz are distancing themselves. When people who are platforming Trump and his administration are now kind of going like, oh God, but I don't support this. Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing the same thing that these comedy podcasters are doing. She's just like Theo Von in a dress. She's just she's scared shitless about not getting reelected. She needs to get reelected. She wants to run for president. That won't happen if she gets ousted. If she doesn't get reelected, then there's probably a very slim chance that she can even go far in the next presidential election as a nominee. We see right through her bullshit. I don't believe that she's a good person or has seen the light or cares at all. She's a politician. Whatever will make them succeed, they'll say. So right now, the cool thing now is to be against MAGA. It was fine to be MAGA. It was fine to be a giant cunt. It was fine. It worked. Now it's not working. Now you got to be against that. Now you got to be, against ICE and against, keeping the Epstein files away from the public eye. Now that's how you get reelected. So she's just another congressperson. I mean, she's just another politician who's just doing what she needs to do to survive. But it is fun to see the girls fighting. The girls are fighting, bitch. It's white on white crime. It's the battle of the bronzers. Two horribly dyed-haired people just yelling at each other. I love it. It's great. It's what I imagine children of divorced parents witness every Christmas when they get back in the same room just for like an hour. The parents hate each other and they're just going at each other. And you're like, God, you guys are both losers. What are you doing? Let's see. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who Trump is calling Marjorie Traitor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene said Sunday that her very public fallout with President Donald Trump has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. Is it shocking? Is it shocking? She really wants the release of the Epstein files. She supports that. Good for her, I guess. I mean, this is like it is the lowest of the lowest bar to be like, hey, you should support the release of files that indicate who did not participate in pedophilia. Trump said, all I see wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. That just sounds like a Facebook meme your boomer dad would post. She's a raging lunatic, he said, and announced he was pulling his endorsement of her, which I think she's fine with. She's trying to distance herself from Trump and MAGA. How much MAGA is left? Is it just all people that don't have teeth? How many, I saw TikToks of people being like, yeah, my crazy neighbor who had, crazy Trump memorabilia and souvenirs on his lawn, they've all been removed. People are quietly, not supporting Trump anymore. They're quietly taking down their Trump stuff. It's getting to a point now where if you are still on board with Trump, you just, you'd fail an IQ test. I don't even know if you can fail it, but you'd find a way to get a negative score. Trump said he is withdrawing his support and endorsement of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he called her a traitor. Marjorie said, those are the types of words that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger. I mean, whatever. She received a hotbed of threats fueled and egged on by the most powerful man in the world. I don't know if he's the most powerful in the world, to be honest. I think Bieber has more power at this point than Trump. Marjorie said, I do support him and his administration. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files. I will continue to do my small part to get the files released. Anybody who believes that Trump is loyal or wouldn't go against you in the flip of a switch, the minute you speak bad about him, he'll fucking throw you under the bus. I mean, these are the things that were in the emails. Epstein was saying he kind of fucking hated Donald. He was like the worst person ever. He just had no sense of morality. There was not a good bone in his body. And this is from Epstein. Epstein, the human sex trafficking machine. So it's just wild. I would never want to get close to somebody like Trump, no matter what he was promising, because he will burn that bridge so fast. He is good for burning bridges. It's all. Look at his first administration. Where is everybody that worked for him? Rudy Giuliani's scooting around a fucking Roto-Rooter scooter in Walmart, paying for things in food stamps, paying for things in pennies. He's got the last penny that's been minted and pressed and made. He's got the last one trying to pay for things with it. Everybody's been burned. Where's Mike Pence? You don't know. Grindr? Have no idea. And it will be much more satisfying to see the people that are in his current administration burned. Caroline Leavitt. I mean, after all of this is said and done, what is she going to be doing? Pete Hegseth. My God. I was just reminded of Matt Gaetz. I totally forgot about Matt Gaetz. Remember when he was so fucking annoying? He's come out. There's allegations against him, basically having a 16-year-old at sex parties, and she needed to pay for braces. So she was like, yeah, I'll just have sex with your friends and you. And he was like, here's $400. I mean, there's a whole thing on it. But yeah, these are all just bridges that get burned eventually. You shouldn't get close to somebody like Trump. But Marjorie's just doing the thing where she's got to get reelected. People are like, I can't believe I'm agreeing with Marjorie Taylor. Marjorie Taylor is agreeing with you. Okay. And, I just implore you to see through it. I implore you to see through any politician, really. They don't give a fuck. They're just going to say, they're actors. They're going to say what's on the page. They're going to say whatever is going to make them successful. Okay. Very few are actually public servants. Most are just really into insider trading. Meghan R. Kelly is coming out being fucking crazy. Meghan R. Kelly. That's the new internet's name for her. A while back, Meghan Kelly, R. Kelly, spoke about drag queens, saying, what is distressing is what's being done to kids. There is a problem. If you are not equally outraged about it, then you're part of the problem. And that was about drag queens, and presumably drag queens reading to kids, which I don't support. Drag queens belong in bars where the floors are sticky, the lights are low, and they're flashing their perfectly tucked crotch. And I'm tipping them. Sober, by the way. I support drag queens being funny and irreverent. And, I don't want drag queens being child friendly, but if they are there to perform, they're essentially just clowns. Okay. So we let clowns around kids. Why not drag queens? They're just more beautiful women. Okay. That was Megyn Kelly talking about drag queens. Here's Megyn Kelly talking about conservative men after these emails were leaked. Quote, Epstein wasn't into 8-year-olds. He liked the young teen types. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Okay. So, essentially saying, hey, dude, she's 15, okay? She can almost legally vote. Dude, she can almost legally drive a car. I think she can have sex with a 50-year-old man. It's not that harmful. She's not a child. Legally, I know she is still legally defined federally as a child, but she's 15, okay? She's not 5. Epstein wasn't that creepy. It's not like it was a little baby, okay? It was a 15-year-old. Most of them get their periods around that time. I mean, she might as well buy a house. The mental gymnastics and the gross things. Meanwhile, Megyn R. Kelly has a teenage daughter, I believe. So, God, that's got to feel good. She referred to 15 and 16-year-old girls, because that's what they are. They're girls. She referred to 15 and 16-year-old girls as barely legal types. Barely legal means 18, 19, barely legal. They're right at the legal. These are not 14, 15, 16-year-olds. Those are how do you say it? Children. It's just really gross. If she wants to be technical, sure. I think she could have had a better point saying it's not pedophilia, it's ebophilia or whatever that fucking one is where you're attracted to tweens and teens instead of fucking toddlers or whatever. Sure. It's all fucking gross. There is no rationalizing Jeffrey Epstein and whoever else is mentioned. It's just really gross. But then to feign, worry, to feign worry about children and their lives because of drag queens. It's really gross, Megyn R. Kelly. And this is a quote that will go down forever. I mean, it's like when all this dust is settled in 15, 20, 25, 30 years, these are the things that are going to stick out. These statements. Megyn R. Kelly saying that, hey, it's a 15-year-old. It's not a big deal. It's not like he was into 8-year-olds, while having a teen. It's really, it's desperate times when you got to defend a pedophile. It really is. And it kind of just feels like a lot of this is just, it's going to come back to bite these people. I cannot believe a woman, no matter what, you can be a conservative woman and understand that a 15-year-old should not be, being assaulted by men, older men. It's not consensual. It's not anything. It's, I don't know any I literally don't know any 15-year-olds, but if you do have a teenager in your life, a sister, a kid, a niece, a nephew, I mean, you can imagine that person being surrounded by 45, 50, 55, 60-year-olds, and you wouldn't be comfortable with that. So Megyn R. Kelly is a fucking creep herself for even saying that. We're not surprised, are we? Now Trump is saying that he's urging Republicans to back the release of the Epstein files. I mean, it's been a quiet weekend for him. All this stuff came out last week and weekend, and he's been kind of ignoring it. And now he's saying that he's calling on House Republicans to support a measure that would compel the Justice Department to release the files. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if they will try to then veto whatever is voted on it, or if they'll try to redact information once they get the file. I'm not really sure. I think it's a good PR move for Trump to say, yes, I support, obviously, the files being released. He's kind of backed into a corner. We're going to keep our eye on that and see what that happens. But it's just crazy how desensitized we are to what's going on. It's all really incredibly insidious and gross and creepy and disgusting. And it's hard to make jokes about it, to make light of it. But that is kind of where we're at. Shout out to Megyn R. Kelly. I hope your daughter emancipates herself from you and goes no contact. I really do. Let me fact check that. I want to make sure I don't want to be talking out of bullshit. Does she have a daughter? This is so gross. She has 3 children. I'm trying to see. She's a 13-year-old, dude. She has a 13-year-old daughter. Brother, what the fuck? It's just, she has a 13 or 14-year-old daughter, the exact age that she was commenting on, almost exact. She's 15, it's not like she's 8. That's your fucking daughter, dude. You know your daughter, you know your daughter's friends. Kelly is a lifelong Roman Catholic. That fucking checks out. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Dude, if that was my mom, I would be so like, I would just be wearing a Zoran shirt every day. Who's that one girl that like would post a bunch about her mom? God damn, I forget. She was online a lot and she would post about her blonde conservative mom. Daughter of blonde politician. And damn, Kellyanne Conway maybe? Let's see. Is it Kellyanne Conway's? Yeah, I think it was Kellyanne Conway's daughter. Claudia, yes, Claudia Conway. She was a real one. I don't know where she stands now, but she used to come out and be like, "Fuck my mom, she fucking sucks." Yeah, Claudia Conway. Interesting. I just forgot about Kellyanne Conway. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's a political consultant now, whatever the fuck that means. Okay. Well, Wicked 2. The press tour seems to be ramping up for Wicked 2, featuring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. I saw Wicked 1. I had a lot of thoughts. I made a video about it. I'm going to see Wicked 2 just because I got to find out if Jeff Goldblum is the dad. I'm trying not to spoil myself. I was like, what was Cynthia Erivo's character's name? Elphaba? I had a feeling that Jeff Goldblum's character's name, I don't know what it is, the Wizard? Girl, I am so a passive viewer of Wicked. I call it The Wicked. That's how passive of a viewer I am. I'm not into this. I never got into The Wicked. Yeah, I left. I had a lot of thoughts on the Wicked one. I left the theater thinking Jeff Goldblum, the Wizard, was Elphaba's dad. I think that's really what's going on. I mean, he was banging her mom, right? In the beginning of the movie. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see what Wicked 2 brings. The Wicked 2. I can't say that I'm already over it. I'm over the press. I'm over the press tour. It was a really grueling press tour for the Wicked 1. I don't think I'm mentally prepared for the Wicked 2 press tour. I don't think there is enough patience in me to sit through Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande looking deeply into each other's eyes with their long fingernails while crying. Every interview, they're crying. Do you know why they're crying? Because they're fucking hungry. That's why they're crying. These women, their body frame is, it's insane. I'm not trying to, we have to live in reality. I'm not body shaming. I just have two eyes. They don't look well. I'll tell you how they look. Not well, bitch. They don't, shout out to Dorinda Medley. They don't look well, okay? They look malnourished, incredibly skinny, gaunt, and I don't even want to make a video of this online. Anytime I make a video about a woman, there's always a woman celebrity or a woman in the public eye. I mean, I made one about Nancy Pelosi retiring. That fucking dinosaur. There's always someone that jumps in my comments and goes, wow, real nice to see women supporting women. As if to say, like, you can't comment on anything a woman does because you're a woman and you shouldn't be tearing them down the way men do. Hey, if that's the case, be right back going to defend Casey Anthony. What the fuck are you talking about? I believe in equality, okay? That means I can talk about whoever the fuck I want. Women, men, gay, straight, black, Asian, Rebel Wilson, whatever she is. She's an Australian lesbian? Okay. I can talk about whoever. I believe in equality. I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't talk about this because they also have a vagina. I shouldn't ever talk bad about somebody with another clit. Like, that's crazy. That's insane. Everyone is fair game. I think it's a really lazy argument because there are really bad women out there. There's Casey Anthony. There's Meghan R. Kelly. What are you fucking talking about? It's interesting. And then when I talk about women that everyone is in agreement is kind of evil, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you don't hear those comments. It's only when I'm talking about I don't know. Nancy Pelosi, for God's sake. It's liberal. It's mostly liberal women, I think, that are like, wow, women supporting women, real nice. But if I talk about someone they hate, then their fucking mouth is shut and they're enjoying the video. I hate that hypocrisy. This is what equality is about. Let me talk about everybody because we're all human beings. Ew, I hate that argument. Anyways, I'm just not looking forward to it. I'm not going to make a video about this because, I don't want to get attacked. Do you know how many people are like complicit in this? Like they're totally healthy. They're not healthy. They're starving. They're hungry. They're crying because their hormones are so unbalanced. They're incredibly talented music singers and actors. There's no shade to them and their talent. And I really enjoyed Wicked for not knowing anything about The Wicked. I'm going to enjoy The Wicked too. I really like Ariana's music. Cynthia Erivo, I love the shape of her head. I don't really know anything about her music. I'm just saying, outside of all that, they don't look well. They look very unhealthy. It does not look good. If there are young girls out there, which would be 15, 16, those are girls. There are young women out there, 19, 20, 21, that maybe have issues with disordered eating, and they see Ariana Grande, that fucking 5'1" skeleton body. I don't think they're going to think like, oh, I should eat healthy. I think this promotes really bad body image issues. But I don't know. And I'm also shocked because I don't know where they get the energy. Like they are doing press junkets. They are doing interview after interview after interview after interview. They're being very present. Their interviews are very present. They're very emotional. It's two theater kids with disordered eating, just almost about to faint talking about this movie, and they have to talk about it nonstop. And it just feels like, and I've heard it my whole life as a skinny person. You need to eat a sandwich. That's fine. I'll deal with it. Whatever. I'm sure I don't look super healthy to some people, but they are so tiny, bro. I just can't deal with the crying and it's like if you just had some nutrients in your body, I bet you wouldn't be as emotional about a musical. Okay. You're not doing fucking Shawshank. I mean, you're not doing like Schindler's List here. It's The Wicked. I mean, I'm sure theater kids out there are like, how dare you dumb bitch. This is a moving film. Sure. We're talking about a movie where one of the professors is a goat. Is it that serious? It's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny that they are crying about a movie that features a CGI'd goat. Okay. It's a great film. They're very talented, but I'm just not mentally prepared for the memes that are going to come out from this one. They're theater kids who need to eat a little. They just some smoothies even. Get a smoothie. I know chewing is icky. Get a smoothie. I just feel like if they're putting something in their mouth and chewing it, they're doing the Bethany Frankel. They're spitting it in a cup. I don't think Bethany Frankel's taking in anything either. She's got the sharp face. You know who's really a victim of the sharp face? It's Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos. Is that his name? Her husband, Mark? God, I hope I'm not racist for just guessing Consuelos. Yeah. Whew. Mark Consuelos. Those are some sharp motherfuckers. Every time I see a clip from their show that I can't believe is still on the air, live with Kelly and Mark or whatever the fuck it's called. It used to be with Regis. It should have died with Regis. They are so sharp. And it's because they're malnourished. They're not eating. They're over-exercising. They're not eating. I think Kelly Ripa once... Kelly Ripa, what I eat in a day. Let's look that up. Because Kelly Ripa had a batshit banana, what I eat in a day. And we have to read it. Of course, her nutritionist says it's not about deprivation. It's about moderation. So that's a really fun thing when your nutritionist is being like, it's not deprivation. She's not depriving. It is. Let's go to what she eats in a day. I was trying to see. Okay, here we go. She starts the morning with coffee, with greens and coffee. So she'll have a glass of water mixed with green powder. And then she'll have a coffee. Okay, so that's how she starts her day. That's fine. Some people don't want to wake up and eat. Okay, so at 10 a.m., she gets ready for breakfast. So she'll have a green apple, a few tablespoons of almond butter, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, that's her breakfast. An apple, some almond butter, and a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay. Then after her fully loaded breakfast, she goes on to have a veggie tray for snack later on. She'll have a salad piled with microgreens, avocado, sprouts, and raw nuts. And then she'll have that for a snack. Okay, so she has had coffee, water, an apple, a salad. I'm sure it's a very tiny salad. And then she'll go on to dinner and she'll have a salad. This is crazy, dude. Now she's at 2 salads. She'll actually mix it up. She'll have some steamed veggies in there with a protein side, like tofu, tahini, or some fish protein. Very light meat or tofu. Tofu does have high protein. I'll give her that. But this is crazy. That's a lunch. The salad she's eating for dinner, that could have been a lunch. And then at the end of the day, she'll get a dessert. You know what she has for dessert? She has some avocado. She calls it avocado chocolate mousse. Anything to just pretend you're eating dessert. It consists of avocado, pure vanilla extract, raw cacao, dates, and sea salt, or chocolate chia pudding for a boost of fiber. And she has that with some tea. So she's having avocado mousse, which is just blended up avocado with like some flavoring and salt. So she's having avocado for dessert with some tea. This lady is probably eating... God, do we think even 800 calories a day? Do we even think she's hitting 800 calories? An apple, salad, some protein, and some avo. She might be getting up to 1,000, maybe 1,000 calories a day. It's and then for her nutritionist in this article to be like, and this is all about moderation. This is definitely not her depriving her body of any nutrient. I mean, it is crazy. She could combine her snack and dinner, and that would be lunch. It's just salad. Anyways, she has disordered eating, allegedly. These are my opinions. And you look at people like that, and it's not me being mean. It's not me being judgy. It's me having eyes and observing. What you call body shaming, I call body observing. Okay. Let's get on to our ad. Oh, wow. We're already 40 minutes in, bitch. This episode flew by. I'm not even into the ad read yet. Wow. You guys have been so fun. Okay, see ya. No. All right. You know them. You love them. It's Lucy Brown Coffee, baby. They've been the OG sponsor since day one. We love them so much. Located in Lexington, Kentucky. It's an amazing small business owned by a lesbian. I called her queer once, and she almost beat me up. She is a lesbian. No, I'm kidding. She's open to any title you give her except straight, man. Small queer-owned business in Lexington, Kentucky. It's Lucy Brown Coffee Bar. Coffee by day, cocktails by night. It's a fantastic shop. If you're ever in Lexington, Kentucky, I suggest you go down to their coffee shop, get a coffee, get a cocktail, whatever time of day it is. It's a very cute vibe. It's a very welcoming vibe, and the drinks are delicious. And now you can get their coffee subscription. It's a fantastic program. I've been on this coffee subscription since they came out with it, honestly, and it has never failed to come through like fucking gangbusters. It delivers like Domino's, bitch. Every month I get a new bag of coffee. I never have had the same coffee twice. I've never had a repeat bag. It's very impressive what they're doing over there. With this coffee subscription, every single month you get a new bag of coffee sent straight to your door. And it's all very affordable. All you have to do is go to lucybrown.com. That's LUSSI, browncoffee.com, and follow the coffee subscription button to get signed up today. You got to fill out the form, tell them what you like, what are your preferences, because they're not just going to send you any old coffee, okay? These are like roasters, really like roasters throughout the country. I'm talking Ohio or Colorado or Tennessee, Kentucky, or whatever, like Washington. I think I got a bag from Washington. These are like small roasters that know what the fuck they're doing with the coffee. The coffee tastes so fucking good, and it's whatever preference you like. Do you like light roast coffee? Then you're going to get light roast beans, ground or whole. Do you like dark roast coffee like me? Then you're going to get dark roast. I've never gotten a roast that wasn't dark because that's what I prefer. They're going to send you your preference, so you're not just dealing with like, oh, I don't really like roast, but I guess I'll just have this month. No, it's what you like, shipped to your door every single month. So go to lucybrowncoffee.com. That's LUSSI, browncoffee.com. And get the coffees. It might be lucybrown.com. I'm so sorry. Let me double check on that because I don't want to send you to some porn site. It's lucybrown.com. Lussi brown.com. That's it. lucybrown.com. Follow the coffee subscription button. Get signed up today. It's a perfect time to get a Christmas gift for someone you love. If they love coffee, do this. It's a great thing. They're going to love you for the rest of the year. Oh my God, you have this subscription. And if you use the code Heather Shaw is kidding, you'll get 10% off your first order. Use the code Heather Shaw is kidding, and you'll get 10% off your first order. We love you, Lucy Brown Coffee. Thanks for being an OG sponsor of this show. They're coming out with a Labubu movie. Sony, an actual studio, is really, boy, they are cutting edge, these people, huh? They saw a flash in the pan trend and said, 6 months later, we should make a movie about this. Maybe they can pump it out in 2 months if it's all AI, but what the fuck are they doing? Were they too busy to make a Beanie Baby movie? Because Labubus are just Beanie Babies for Gen Z. It's a flash in the pan trend. I understand some people still have them and love them, and that's great, but it was a trend. Let's be real. Nobody's rushing out and buying Labubus for Christmas. Maybe your close autistic niece wants them, and that's great. It's the new Funko Pop. But to make a whole fucking movie revolving around this, I'd rather see a movie about Furby. Dude, the only way that a movie about Labubus is going to work is if it's either like super kids film that they can get like Amy Poehler attached to and make it very fucking funny and very cute. I mean, I know she already did Inside Out, and that should be her claim to fame, but you know, it's got to be very, very funny and made for kids and adults, like a Pixar, but it's Sony. Or you have to go the horror route. It's got to be a fucking scary movie featuring Labubus, dude. It's got to be fucking terrifying. It's got to be weapons with Labubus. Okay, it's got to be The Shining remake featuring Labubus. That's what I want. I want to see Descent. The Descent featuring Labubus. It's either got to be very funny for kids and adults, a kids movie, or it's got to be a fucking slasher horror film that I'm terrified to watch alone at night. But it's just weird. Sony Pictures, home of Jumanji and K-pop Demon Hunters, which was a very big success, I've heard and seen from statistics, like from the actual numbers. But to make a Labubu film, it's a little desperate. What are you, sick of the Jurassic Park remakes? Holy fucking Jurassic Park remakes. I was watching football last night with my fiance, and we saw a trailer for a new Jurassic Park film. When does it end? Between the Jurassic Park films and the Kevin Hart commercials, when does it fucking end? We're done. We're tired. It's like, the Marvel movies kind of got the hint. People were over them. They've really scaled back with the Marvel films. And now it's like remakes have kind of gotten a little quiet. Jurassic Park is now the new thing that they're just pumping one out every fucking year. What the fuck? Jurassic Park and maybe another one of the Jurassic Parks. Not the first one and then maybe one of the sequels. And that's it. Maybe the second one. I don't even remember. I just know the first one. That's the Laura Dern one, the water rippling. That's all we need. We only needed one, bitch. But it's like, dude, I know that there's original screenplays out there that are getting brushed aside for this bullshit, this Labubu shit. No producer or filmmakers attached at this stage, as the deal was just signed this week. It's also too early to tell whether the potential movie would be live action or animated. Sony had no comment. We'll see if this even comes to fruition. I don't even know if they're going to make this. I mean, they have to go the kid route. I would think they go animated kid route because it's quicker to make, depending on the animation style, and they can just, get slave labor in there and just have a bunch of animators sit in a fucking dark room for 3 weeks and pump this out. And then, hire, I don't know, Jason Bateman and Amy Poehler and Chris Pratt and Kevin Hart and, Tiffany Haddish to voice these fucking characters and Zach Galifianakis maybe. And, then we're done. There's a Labubu movie. It's just getting really sick. It's a trend. It's a trend. Millennials were cheated of the Beanie Baby movie. If this is happening, then we were fucking cheated of Furby Remake 2, Electric Boogaloo. All right. That was my rant. It is just funny because it's like they're just making meme movies now. We're just making movies of trends and memes because I am just waiting. Next year you're going to be like, you're going to be in the theater and see a preview and it's going to say, coming this fall. from the creators who brought you Labubu. It's 6-7. 6-7. It should be a horror film. If they're going to make 6-7, make it a horror film. 6-7. It's just a killer, a 6-7 clown. Just running through schools. Well, that might be too close to home. Running through, I don't know, anything else. Killing people. Slasher movie featuring 6-7. 6-7! Oh my God, that's a fucking terrifying movie right there. I just feel like we're just going to be doing meme movies from now on. It's crazy. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, I saw Begonia, and fucking, you got to go see this movie. It was fantastic. I loved it. I hope it gets Picture of the Year. I've not seen Christie yet. I know that bombed. What do you mean Sydney Sweeney's fan base made up of your creepy uncle and his friends doesn't want to see Sydney Sweeney star as a butch athlete who gets attacked by her manager and perseveres? What do you mean? Sydney Sweeney's fan base is just creepy men with jizz on their pants. And they didn't want to see Christie? I say that Sydney Sweeney should just do an Erica Kirk biopic. And that's how she'll get her fucking Oscar. She'll get a Fox News Oscar. They'll create their own Oscars just to give her one. But go see Begonia, dude. Shout out to Jesse Plemons. I mean, that man can fucking act his face off. You hear that, Kim Kardashian? And he's still got wrinkles. He's aging. He's not super old, but he is aging, and it's good to see. Emma Stone. Holy shit. She is an amazing I love Emma Stone. Not too much on the Botox now, Miss Stone. We need your face. We need your talent. She is incredible. I just really love the film. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but definitely go see it. I wasn't a huge fan of Poor Things, to be honest. This is the same director. Poor Things for me was a bit ironic, and I really didn't want to see a woman with the brain of a child getting fucked. Sorry, not my kind of thing. Keep that on the island. But Begonia, absolutely one of my favorites of this year. Go check it out if you haven't. I give it 10 out of 10. Fantastic acting, original storyline, good for the times, lines up with the times we're in. And you get to see Emma Stone sing to Chappell Roan in a car, which is very fun. And Stavi, dude. Shout out to Stavi, one of my favorite comics working today, and he killed it in his role as a creepy cop. All right, go check out Begonia. Thanks for listening to this episode. I had so much fun. Don't follow Kelly Ripa's diet. You will die. She's only alive because of, I don't know, child's blood. I don't really know why, how does she have energy? I don't know how these people have energy. If I skip a meal, I am out for the day. Okay. So maybe it's Adderall, maybe it's Maybelline. I don't know. Reminder, tonight I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. Tomorrow night I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Friday night I'm in Mahomet, Illinois. Next week I'm in Portland, Maine, and Providence, Rhode Island. And then my last show of the year is at Cobb's Comedy in San Francisco, California. Get tickets at heathershawcomedy.com. Join the Patreon if you can't get enough of this goddamn podcast. New episodes every single week. Patreon.com/HeatherShawComedy. And don't forget to rate and review this podcast to prove you're not homophobic. Okay. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great rest of your week. All right. See ya.